one question I get a lot is, how do we work together, or how do we get along in this business? How do you work with your dad, you know, or how do you work with your son?
I get that too.
How do you work with your son?
So, well, I mean, when we came into it, we had a discussion about what was needed.
Well, we didn't start out like that, right? We had a bit of a rub initially, huh?
Well, yeah, but even though we still talked about how it was going to be going, we still had a situation come up because we both were two individuals and have our own mindset of how things should go outside of the son and father relationship.
Yeah.
So once we had our discussion about things and had hit walls, we learned to talk to them and work through them, and that's what makes it work. But I know he's learning. He's been in the business with me for since what, 2017?
Yeah.
After graduation, he came in the business with me, and he came in not in the field really working with me. Mm-hmm. He's been out there learning, and and if I need him, he's out there. But a lot of times he's taking care of things on the other end, which is good because I always had to do both.
Yeah.
So
it's tough
him
to do
coming
that.
into the business was a blessing, and I tell people every day, I say, well, yeah, he comes out here when I need him, but I don't need him out here all the time because I need him to take care of the other parts of the business because I can't do both and he can't do both neither.
And quite frankly, we can't really afford to have you out there either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, as we're growing our business, you know, the field work is, the production stuff is, you know, obviously there's no business without production. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know that we're gotten our business to greener pastures to where it's more so you don't have to be out there in the field every single day.
No.
You know what I mean?
But I like to be out there and make sure that things is being done right. Mm-hmm. I'm like quality control on the jobs to make sure the product is not changing since I started. Because I have a thing about cleanliness and organization on the job. I don't want to be up on the job site and it's a mess. Tools all over the place, trash all over the place. We don't know where the supplies is we're trying to put in or any of that. I always like to be organized. And I like a clean job site at the beginning of the morning, at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. We're not leaving it a mess. So that's one of my pet peeves. And my customers have loved it over the years. Yeah. That the job sites are organized and clean before and after.
Yeah, that's part of the client experience, you know, and that's something you taught me, you know what I mean? And that it's not something that goes unnoticed, you know what I'm saying, by clients. I think that's a big thing, and it shouldn't go overlooked by other contractors, too. Because I've been to other job sites, and I'm like, you guys need to clean up. How are you guys even getting any work done in here? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that clients very much do notice, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, if you're actively working in a house that somebody's actively living in, you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want somebody to leave tools all over your house while they're working at your house, you know what I mean? So that goes into our client experience, and that's something that people actually notice and talk about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So and that's something that goes into just be doing good business. It's not like, oh, some super technical thing, how to be great in business. Yeah. It's all the simple stuff. Be clean, do what you say you're going to do, and do that. You know what I mean?
And to add to that, I didn't mean to jump off into that part of this because we were talking about how we work together, right? But to get back to that, we work together because we understand one another. You know, I raised him, and so I know his personality. He knows mine. And when it gets stressful, sometimes you have to just back away and say, okay, let's not talk right now. Let's let the atmosphere calm down.
Yeah, backing off a little bit.
Let him think what he about what he got going on, and let me think about what I got going on. Then we come back together and talk once the stress level has come down. Yeah. Because I have my ways, he have his ways, and so instead of us like I'm saying I'm the dad, do what I say do. I never want to back that because we're in business. So I want it to work out in a way we talk about it and discuss it, and so that's what's worked for us. I don't try and overpower him, and he don't try and overpower me. But if we seem like that's going on, then that's when we say, okay, hold on, wait a minute, let's talk about this here later today or tomorrow.
Right. And and that brings to a good point too, is that I understand that the field is the most important thing ever. So anything that he need or want, I try to get it done. That ain't something I try to play with, you know what I mean? Sometimes I just get too busy, or, you know what I mean, just too much stuff going on. But ultimately, whatever's going on in the field, that's what takes precedence over anything else. So that's something I've had to come to terms with. Really, you know, I work for other contractors and other construction businesses, and the field that's something I've learned is field comes first, you know what I mean? And really, we just support to the field. I'm just a support to the field, so it ain't like I'm handing down anything. But I would say for me, you know, again, I think we had a little bit of a rub initially, but once we, you know, really divided up our duties and understood where each person was covering, that helped us out a lot as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We're not stepping on each other's toes or thinking this person gonna do this, or thinking that person gonna do that. You know, so that helped us out a lot as well. So, you know, just dividing up duties, getting understanding.
And even if we do that, sometimes it still can get stressful, because sometimes he gets tied up into the part that he's trying to do. He's trying to elevate the business, develop the business, and make it and take it to another levels, right? And I need stuff out there, and so I say, hey, Junior, I need this part here. And he may be kind of stressful. Say, Dad, well, can't you just get it? I'm like, no, I can't get it, because I'm over here trying to do this here. So we've had moments like that. Don't think this always worked out just right for us to get it done. And sometimes I'll be like, all right, don't worry about it. I got it. You do your part.
Facts. No, you're absolutely right.
And then he'll come back and think about it. And then next time, you know, he'll be on top of it or do differently. And so it works out where, if you feel your partner is got a lot on their plate at that moment, it's sometimes you gotta okay, give them a break and not pressure at that moment, because you don't have to. It just, I stop what I'm doing, slow it down a little bit, and go do this here. But sometimes he may need something from me, and he calling me about some measurements or something he want me to send over to him, and I'm like in the middle of something. I'm like, what? Huh? And I may not do it right that moment, because I'm in the middle of something. I'm thinking he could do it himself. But no matter how it works out that day, we always end up come back to working it out. Yeah. Where I get the measurements. Might not be right when he want them, but I get it to him, or he come and get it, because I'm just like, it's one of those days where we ain't flowing like we need to. But that don't mean you quit. That just means that's one of those days where the stress was up, the pressure was on.
Yeah.
But you have to work through those times like that.
Yeah.
You know. So how do we get along? By understanding, forgiving, and never giving up.
Yeah.
On what our goal is. We have a goal for this business.
Yeah.
And as long as our goal is the same, then we'll never just quit.
Yeah.
You know.
Facts. Having a why. I think that's big, you know, while we're in business, while we're doing this, that's the key to it all, the overarching key to it all. But like you said, understanding, knowing, forgiving, absolutely.